Most people think retirement means heading south, chasing sunshine, sand, and golf carts. But thousands of retirees are quietly doing the opposite. They are packing their bags, heading north, and finding something that the Florida heat and Arizona deserts just can't offer: peace, balance, and value. Because while everyone else is sweating through 100-degree summers and skyrocketing rent, smart retirees are discovering a different kind of paradise. One where the air smells like pine, the coffee actually tastes like coffee, and your dollar stretches almost as far as the mountain views. The Pacific Northwest has always had a reputation for rain, hipsters, and hiking boots. But lately, it's building a new one, as one of the most affordable, scenic, and fulfilling places to actually live in America. And the numbers back it up. More retirees are moving to smaller Northwest towns now than at any time in the past decade. So today, we are uncovering the 10 best Pacific Northwest towns to live and retire in the USA. The hidden gems where comfort meets adventure, and where retirement doesn't mean slowing down, it means leveling up. Welcome to Restful Wealth, where smart retirees learn to live better for less. Stick around, you might just find your next hometown before we hit number 1. These towns are so charming, don't be surprised if you start daydreaming about living there halfway through the video. And before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more smart retirement guides, just like this one. Number 10. Pullman, Washington. Tucked into the golden hills of the Palouse, this little gem delivers big value, great energy, and a lifestyle that's peaceful but never boring. Pullman is the kind of place where your money actually behaves itself. The cost of living is lower than the national average, housing is more affordable than most parts of Washington, and because the state has no income tax, your retirement income stays in your pocket where it belongs. That alone makes it a hidden win for retirees who want a comfortable life without big city headaches. But what really makes Pullman stand out is its personality. It's home to Washington State University, which brings culture, curiosity, and community together in one neat package. You've got art galleries, free lectures, lively coffee shops, and small-town kindness all rolled into one. It's an intellectual atmosphere without the attitude. Think more flannel and espresso than suits and stress. Healthcare access is solid for a town its size, and independent living costs are reasonable compared to the state average. You are also surrounded by nature. Rolling farmland, crisp seasons, and those wide, cinematic skies that remind you to slow down and breathe. Now, Pullman isn't for everyone. Winters can be cold and gray, and because it's a student town, some weekends get noisy. If you are looking for endless sunshine or luxury shopping, you won't find it here. And for advanced medical treatments, you might need to travel to Spokane or the Tri-Cities. But for retirees who value peace, intellect, and a genuine sense of belonging, Pullman is a gem hiding in plain sight. It's affordable, safe, and welcoming. A place where you can sip your morning coffee while college kids rush to class and realize you've already graduated to something better. A simpler, smarter, more grounded way of life. Pullman proves that retirement doesn't have to mean slowing down. It just means choosing the right kind of pace. Number 9. Ocean Shores, Washington. If you've ever dreamed of retiring by the sea but thought that kind of life was only for millionaires, Ocean Shores is about to prove you wrong. This coastal town on Washington's rugged Pacific edge delivers the beach town lifestyle without the coastal price tag. It's not glitzy or crowded, and that's exactly why retirees love it. Ocean Shores feels like it was built for quiet mornings and second chances. Picture this: long, walkable beaches where you can actually hear yourself think, fresh ocean air that feels like therapy, and small shops that still remember your name. Homes here are often half the cost of similar seaside properties in Oregon or California, and you can find tidy cottages, cozy condos, or even waterfront lots that won't eat up your life savings. Property taxes are reasonable, utilities are manageable, and Washington's no-income tax perk makes living here even sweeter for retirees on fixed budgets. The lifestyle is easygoing. Part beach town, part tight-knit community. You can take your morning walk along the jetty, join a local art group, or spend Saturday at the farmer's market chatting about the weather. Because yes, it's probably raining, but locals wear that like a badge of honor. For healthcare, the town has its own medical clinic, and larger hospitals in Aberdeen and Olympia are within reasonable driving distance. Groceries, pharmacies, and essentials are all close by, so you won't be isolated from the basics. Now, this isn't the Florida Panhandle. The Pacific here is wilder and moodier. Expect more windbreakers than swimsuits, and a little more mist than sunshine. But that's part of Ocean Shore's charm. When the fog rolls in and you're curled up by the window with a cup of coffee, watching waves crash against the shore, you will realize you traded heat and crowds for peace and perspective. Sure, winters can feel damp and quiet, and it's a bit of a drive to major shopping or airports. But if your idea of retirement includes serenity, affordability, and ocean views without the chaos of resort life, Ocean Shores delivers. It's peaceful without being dull, scenic without being snobby, and affordable without feeling cheap. Ocean Shores is proof that you don't have to give up the dream of coastal living. You just have to look in the right direction. Here, the waves don't just hit the shore. They wash away the stress too. Number 8. Cottage Grove, Oregon. If Norman Rockwell ever painted a retirement town, it would look suspiciously like Cottage Grove, Oregon. This small storybook community tucked just south of Eugene blends historic charm, natural beauty, and real-world affordability, a rare trio in the Pacific Northwest these days. Cottage Grove has long been known as the covered bridge capital of the West, and it wears that title proudly. The town's 6 historic bridges look like they have been borrowed from a movie set, and in fact, one of them was featured in the classic film Stand By Me. But beyond its quaint looks, Cottage Grove has something retirees crave more than postcard views: peace of mind. The cost of living is comfortably below Oregon's urban averages, and the housing market still offers small homes and cottages in the mid-$300,000 range, a bargain compared to Portland or Bend. The lifestyle here is easygoing, the kind that invites you to slow down without feeling cut off. Downtown Cottage Grove has independent coffee shops, vintage boutiques, and a surprising number of art murals. There's also a vibrant local theater, weekly farmers markets, and community events that make it easy to meet people. For healthcare, the local Peace Health Hospital covers most medical needs, and Eugene's larger facilities are only about a 25-minute drive away. That short distance gives you access to specialists without losing the benefits of small-town life. Of course, no place is perfect, and Cottage Grove isn't trying to be. The pace can feel too quiet if you are coming from a big city, and like much of Oregon, it gets its fair share of rain. Winters are mild but gray, and you'll need a good pair of waterproof shoes and maybe a sense of humor to blend in. On the flip side, the surrounding scenery, lakes, trails, and forested hills, more than make up for it when the sun breaks through. For active retirees, the Roe River Trail is a local favorite, perfect for biking, walking, or simply clearing your head. You're minutes from fishing spots, wineries, and peaceful drives that remind you why you left city traffic behind. And when you do want a little buzz, Eugene's restaurants, concerts, and airport are just up the highway. Cottage Grove proves that retirement doesn't have to mean downsizing your dreams, just simplifying them. It's the kind of town where people still wave when they drive by, baristas know your order, and you can live comfortably without keeping one eye on your bank balance. Quaint, calm, and quietly confident, Cottage Grove isn't loud about its charm, but that's exactly why it works. Number 7. La Grande, Oregon. This little mountain valley town, tucked between the Blue Mountains and the Wallowas, feels like the kind of place people imagine when they say, "I just want some peace and quiet." Only here, it's real. You get tranquility, affordability, and that small-town neighborliness you thought disappeared sometime in the 1980s. La Grande isn't fancy, but it's sincere. With a population just over 13,000, it strikes a comfortable balance between remote and connected. The downtown still has mom-and-pop stores, local diners that know how to make a proper omelet, and a historic theater that doubles as a community gathering spot. Yet because Eastern Oregon University calls La Grande home, there's a steady hum of life, lectures, concerts, and art fairs that keep things from feeling sleepy. The numbers tell a promising story for retirees. Housing here averages around the low $300,000 range, well below the state's coastal or urban prices. Groceries, utilities, and healthcare costs are all slightly under national averages, which means your retirement budget stretches further than in flashier parts of Oregon. Peace Health's local medical center handles day-to-day healthcare needs, while larger facilities in Pendleton or Boise are just a short drive away when you need more specialized care. Nature, though, is La Grande's biggest calling card. The town sits in a valley that's a postcard waiting to happen: snow-dusted peaks, pine forests, and fields that turn gold in summer. Retirees who love the outdoors will feel spoiled for choice. Hiking trails, fishing lakes, cross-country ski spots, and quiet scenic drives that are basically therapy on wheels. Summers are warm and dry. Winters bring a little snow, but not the kind that traps you inside for months. Of course, life here moves slower, and that's either the best part or the biggest adjustment, depending on your personality. Shopping options are limited, winters can get chilly, and nightlife mostly means stargazing or swapping stories at the local pub. But that's kind of the point. La Grande isn't trying to impress anyone. It's trying to give you your peace back. If you have ever wanted to live somewhere that still believes in community, simplicity, and a clear view of the mountains from your porch, La Grande delivers. It's retirement without the rush, small-town living without the isolation, and affordability without the sacrifice. In a world obsessed with bigger and faster, La Grande whispers a gentle reminder: slower can be richer. Number 6. Idaho Falls, Idaho. This is one of those places that sneaks up on you, unpretentious, welcoming, and surprisingly well-rounded. For retirees who crave big scenery without the big price tag, this eastern Idaho gem quietly delivers everything you need for a beautiful, balanced life. The median home price in Idaho Falls hovers around the mid-$370,000 range, roughly 30% below the national average. That's an impressive deal, considering the quality of life you get here. Renters also fare well, with modest two-bedroom apartments that don't eat up your monthly income. The cost of living overall is comfortably below what you would find in nearby resort towns like Jackson Hole, but the view? Pretty much the same. You get snow-capped peaks, crisp mountain air, and sunsets that look photoshopped, all without luxury-level taxes or crowds of tourists. Then there's the healthcare, a major consideration for retirees. Idaho Falls serves as a regional medical hub for much of eastern Idaho, offering solid access to hospitals, specialists, and outpatient services. That means you don't need to drive hours for quality care, a big plus for anyone planning to age in place. The city itself has evolved a lot over the past decade. The once sleepy downtown area has been revitalized into a lively, walkable district with local coffee shops, art galleries, and cozy restaurants. You can stroll along the Snake River Greenbelt, a scenic 6-mile path lined with parks and gardens, or join community events that pop up nearly every weekend. Idaho Falls strikes a rare balance. It feels alive, but never chaotic. Of course, it's not all mountain magic. Winters here are cold, with plenty of snow, and while locals take pride in it, you will need to enjoy a little shoveling or invest in a snowblower. And if you are after nightlife, let's just say Idaho Falls is more quiet conversation over hot cocoa than dancing till midnight. But what it lacks in flash, it more than makes up for in substance. It's safe, friendly, and easy to navigate. People here still hold doors open, wave at strangers, and show up for local events. You will quickly feel part of the community, whether it's joining a book club, volunteering, or cheering on a high school football game. In short, Idaho Falls proves that retirement doesn't have to be expensive to feel luxurious. With its combination of affordability, strong healthcare, and jaw-dropping scenery, it's a place where your dollar stretches, and so does your sense of peace. For retirees who want beauty, space, and savings, Idaho Falls quietly checks every box. We are halfway through our countdown, and if you have made it this far, thank you for sticking around. By now, you have probably noticed a theme. These towns aren't about flashy resorts or luxury zip codes. They are about real life, real community, and real comfort. And the best part? The list only gets better from here. If you are enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the rest of the countdown. Every week, we uncover new places where retirees are living smarter, stretching their dollars, and finding peace in unexpected corners of America. Number 5. Gig Harbor, Washington. This postcard-perfect harbor town on Washington's Puget Sound feels like the kind of place where life finally slows to the right pace. Coffee in hand, sailboats in view, and not a single rush-hour horn in earshot. It's elegant but down-to-earth, cozy yet connected, and for retirees who want beauty with practicality, Gig Harbor might just be the sweet spot between coastal luxury and small-town livability. Let's start with the setting, because honestly, it's stunning. Gig Harbor sits just across the Tacoma Narrows Bridge from Tacoma, giving you quick access to city-level healthcare, shopping, and amenities, but far enough away that you still wake up to seagulls instead of sirens. The town wraps around a sheltered bay that opens into the Puget Sound, so nearly every direction you look feels like a screensaver. Morning walks along the waterfront boardwalk are a ritual here, with views of Mount Rainier peeking out like it's been personally assigned to your backyard. Financially, Gig Harbor isn't the cheapest place on the map, but it offers real value for what you get. The median home price hovers around the low to mid $700,000 range, which is high compared to inland Washington towns, but still a bargain compared to Seattle or Bellevue. Property taxes are moderate, and remember, Washington has no income tax, which keeps more of your retirement income intact. For many retirees, that trade-off, higher housing cost but no state tax, feels well worth it. Day-to-day life here strikes a nice balance. You've got local marinas, boutique shops, farmers markets, and waterfront restaurants where the clam chowder is practically a local religion. Healthcare access is excellent, with St. Anthony Hospital right in town and major medical centers a short drive away. The community itself is friendly but respectful. People greet you on walks, but nobody's knocking on your door uninvited. Of course, no place is perfect. Gig Harbor can be pricey if you are on a tight budget, and while winters are mild, they are also gray and drizzly. Traffic across the bridge into Tacoma can back up during peak hours, though most retirees quickly learn to plan errands around it. And yes, you'll need a good raincoat. This is the Pacific Northwest, after all. Still, it's hard to find a place that blends coastal beauty, safety, and convenience quite like this one. Gig Harbor is clean, walkable, and well-kept. The kind of town where neighbors wave, sailboats glide by, and you can actually hear the tide at night. For retirees who want to wake up every day feeling like they're on vacation, without giving up comfort, quality healthcare, or community, Gig Harbor delivers. It's peaceful, polished, and picture-perfect, proving that sometimes retirement can look just as good as it feels. Number 4. Sequim, Washington. If you think Washington is nothing but drizzle and gray skies, Sequim would like to have a word with you. Tucked into the Olympic Peninsula, this charming little town sits in what's called a rain shadow, meaning it gets roughly 300 days of sunshine a year. In other words, Sequim is the sunny exception to Washington's soggy reputation, and that's just one of the reasons retirees are quietly flocking here. Sequim manages to pull off something special. It feels like a small-town getaway, while still giving you everything you need for comfortable living. The downtown area is cozy but lively, lined with cafes, galleries, and local shops that seem to exist just to slow you down a little. The community vibe is warm and welcoming, the kind of place where folks still wave when you drive by and remember your name at the farmer's market. Housing here is another pleasant surprise. Home prices average in the mid-$500,000 range, not cheap, but far more reasonable than Seattle or coastal Oregon, especially for a waterfront town with mountain views. Many retirees downsize to modern condos, small craftsman-style homes, or even lavender farm properties just outside town. Yes, lavender farms, Sequim is famous for them. And with Washington's lack of state income tax, retirees can enjoy their Social Security and pension income without the usual deductions. But Sequim isn't just easy on the wallet, it's good for your well-being. It's close to excellent healthcare facilities, including Olympic Medical Center, and offers easy access to nature in every direction. One day you can stroll the scenic Dungeness Spit, the longest natural sand spit in the U.S., and the next, you can be hiking in Olympic National Park or watching eagles soar over the Strait of Juan de Fuca. It's like living inside a nature documentary, minus the narrator. Now for the trade-offs. Sequim is peaceful, emphasis on peaceful. If you thrive on nightlife, this probably isn't your scene. Winters, while mild, can still feel a little quiet, and you'll want a car since public transit is minimal. But for many retirees, that calm rhythm is exactly the point. The beauty of Sequim is in its simplicity. Fresh air, friendly people, and enough sunshine to keep your mood and your tomatoes thriving. It's a place that rewards slowing down without ever feeling stagnant. So if you are searching for a town that offers small-town charm, coastal beauty, and an almost suspicious amount of good weather for Washington, Sequim just might outsmart your expectations. And the rain. Number 3. Port Townsend, Washington. If you've ever wanted to retire somewhere that feels like stepping into a storybook with a dash of seafaring spirit and a strong cup of coffee, Port Townsend might be calling your name. Perched on the northeastern tip of Washington's Olympic Peninsula's charming Victorian seaport, manages to blend art, architecture, and ocean air into something that feels both timeless and alive. Port Townsend is gorgeous. The town is surrounded by water on 3 sides, with panoramic views of Puget Sound and the snow-capped Olympic Mountains in the distance. Historic brick buildings line the waterfront, and sailboats drift lazily in and out of the harbor. You can wander down Water Street, pop into a bookstore, grab a pastry from a local bakery, and end the afternoon watching eagles swoop over the marina, all without ever losing sight of the sea. But Port Townsend isn't just a pretty face. It's a town with substance, one built on creativity, community, and culture. The art scene here is vibrant for a town of just 10,000 people. There's a film festival, art walks, live theater, and countless galleries. Retirees often say they feel younger here because there's always something happening, from jazz nights to wooden boat festivals. It's the kind of place that rewards curiosity and lifelong learning, whether that means joining a pottery class or volunteering at the local Marine Science Center. Financially, it's on the pricier side for small-town Washington. Median home prices hover in the high $600,000 range, but what you get in return is a safe, walkable community with high-quality amenities and healthcare access. Jefferson Healthcare serves the local area, and Seattle's world-class hospitals are only a ferry ride away. Plus, Washington's no-income tax policy helps soften the blow for retirees relying on fixed income or investments. Of course, every paradise comes with a few quirks. Port Townsend's charm attracts tourists in the summer, which can make downtown a little busier than locals like to admit. And yes, winters bring the usual Pacific Northwest drizzle and gray skies, perfect for fireplace evenings, but not ideal for sunseekers. Still, the sense of calm and connection here more than makes up for a few cloudy days. In a world obsessed with speed, Port Townsend feels like an exhale, a town that moves at the pace of the tide. It's beautiful, creative, and steeped in history, yet welcoming to anyone ready to embrace its rhythm. For retirees who want a place that stimulates the mind, soothes the soul, and inspires a little adventure, Port Townsend is living proof that slowing down doesn't mean standing still. Number 2. Klamath Falls, Oregon. If you are the kind of retiree who believes life is better with blue skies, fresh air, and fewer people honking at you in traffic, Klamath Falls might feel like coming home. Tucked in southern Oregon, near the California border, this sunny high-desert town is one of those places that still feels refreshingly unhurried. It's friendly, scenic, affordable, and most importantly, it makes financial sense without feeling like a compromise. Klamath Falls proudly calls itself the City of Sunshine, and with roughly 300 days of sun a year, that's no exaggeration. While much of the Pacific Northwest is wrapped in clouds, Klamath wakes up to blue skies and crisp mountain air. You are surrounded by lakes, forests, and wildlife, perfect for retirees who like their peace with a side of adventure. Crater Lake National Park is just an hour away, and the Klamath Basin National Wildlife Refuge attracts birdwatchers from all over the country. Meaning, nature lovers, this is your playground. But Klamath Falls isn't just about scenery, it's about affordability. The median home price sits around the mid-$270,000 range, well below Oregon's state average. The overall cost of living is about 20% lower than the national average, and Oregon's lack of a state sales tax helps stretch your retirement dollars further. Add in reasonable healthcare costs and a hospital system that serves much of southern Oregon, and you've got a town where you can breathe easier, both literally and financially. Now let's be honest, it's not a big city, and that's the point. Klamath Falls has a population of about 22,000, so you will find plenty of space, but not a ton of nightlife. The local dining scene is growing, with farm-to-table spots and craft breweries popping up, but you won't find a five-star restaurant on every corner, unless you count your neighbor's backyard barbecue. Winters can be chilly, and you will occasionally wonder why it's called Klamath Falls when there aren't any actual waterfalls downtown. Long story, but locals find it amusing too. What Klamath Falls does have is a genuine sense of community. People here look out for each other. It's the kind of place where a quick grocery run can turn into a friendly conversation, and your mail carrier might know your dog's name. Outdoor clubs, volunteer groups, and local festivals keep retirees socially active without the pressure of big city hustle. Klamath Falls proves that retirement doesn't have to mean trading quality for cost. You get sunshine instead of smog, neighbors instead of noise, and calm instead of chaos, all while keeping your budget intact. So if you are dreaming of a place where your money, your lungs, and your peace of mind can all take a deep breath, Klamath Falls is waiting, sunglasses and all. Number 1. Wenatchee, Washington. Every now and then, a town sneaks under the radar and quietly checks every box for a great retirement. Affordability, scenery, healthcare, safety, and sunshine. Wenatchee, Washington isn't just checking those boxes, it's drawing smiley faces next to them. Known as the Apple capital of the world, this central Washington gem is ripening into one of the most livable and lovable retirement destinations in the Pacific Northwest. Let's start with the essentials. The median home price in Wenatchee sits comfortably around the low $400,000 range, a fraction of what you would pay for something comparable in Seattle or Portland. The overall cost of living is lower than the state average, and with Washington's no state income tax policy, retirees keep more of what they've earned. Which means your money finally starts acting like it likes you. But affordability is just the appetizer. The main course here is quality of life. Wenatchee sits where the Cascade Mountains meet the Columbia River, giving you a front-row seat to 4 real seasons without the extremes. Spring brings wildflowers and orchard blossoms. Summer is warm but not oppressive. Fall looks like it was painted by Bob Ross. And winter offers a little snow for ambience, not a full-blown shovel marathon. You can hike, bike, golf, or just sit by the river and feed the ducks. All within minutes of home. Healthcare access? Solid. Wenatchee is home to the Confluence Health System, which serves much of central Washington, meaning you won't have to drive hours for checkups or specialists. The town also has excellent retirement communities and independent living options that are high quality without being high cost. Culturally, Wenatchee surprises people. It's not some sleepy orchard town. It's got a lively art scene, a historic downtown filled with local shops and restaurants, and community festivals that actually draw a crowd. The Apple Blossom Festival is practically a local holiday. And because it's in the geographic center of the state, you're close enough for weekend trips to Seattle, Leavenworth, or even Lake Chelan, though you might find yourself perfectly content staying put. Now, a dose of reality. Summers can get warm. Think 90s, not 110s. And yes, there are hills, lots of them. So if you are used to flat Florida terrain, your calves are in for a surprise. But that's also part of the charm. You earn your views here, and they are worth it. What really sets Wenatchee apart is its balance. It's big enough to offer conveniences, small enough to feel neighborly, and beautiful enough to make every errand scenic. It's the kind of town where retirees aren't just living, they are thriving. So, if you have been searching for a place where affordability meets adventure, and small-town comfort meets big-sky beauty, Wenatchee might just be your golden delicious of retirement destinations. And no, you don't have to love apples, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And there you have it, the 10 best Pacific Northwest towns to live and retire in the USA. From sunny valleys to seaside escapes, each of these places proves that retirement doesn't have to mean slowing down. It's about living smarter, calmer, and happier. Whether you are drawn to small-town charm, mountain views, or a quiet harbor where your biggest daily decision is which trail to walk or which coffee shop to visit, The Pacific Northwest truly has something for every kind of retiree. The best part? You don't need a millionaire's budget to live beautifully here. Just the right information and a little bit of vision. Because in the end, retirement isn't about where you end up, it's about where you wake up feeling at peace. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me today. I hope this video gave you new ideas, maybe even a few new dreams. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more guides like this one. Share this with someone who's ready to start their next chapter. They might just find their new home on this list. Until next time, live simply, dream big, and don't forget the sunscreen.